reason why I asked is, I was gonna have another follow-up question later on, but I can ask it now. We talked about joint meetings way back. You said you sent something on, never had heard from them, something on, and I know we went through budget time, but have you heard anything at all yet?
No.
So, my other question is, and I am full of questions tonight,
Oh, boy.
is, has everyone on the board,
Studying.
everyone on this board met the principal?
No.
I haven't met her.
Okay, and I haven't either, and I thought way back when the principal was hired, we asked, to invite her here and introduce ourselves. I thought it would have been easier for her to come here and individually try to introduce herself. But I was talking to one of the school board members, she's at every school board meeting. Might be a good time for us to follow up on that, so, we'd like to introduce you, work with them, and get those budget, or those joint meetings back again, so we can talk about the things we were talking about, and move forward a little bit, instead of just talking about it, kicking the can down the road all the time. So, those are,
Yeah,
I think
to
that's all
meet
my
the principal,
questions.
that was with Mr. L, Randy, wasn't it?
well, no, I know when
And we never,
she, when she came on too, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it would be nice to, talk to the new principal and introduce ourselves and start a new relationship with the principal, and there's a new school board that we have, there's at least 2 new board members that we have not had a joint meeting with those people.
right.
So that's
Now we're gonna have probably
So
some
we're,
more.
yeah, in March, that's about a year.
Mhm.
And it just seems like if we have all these things we talked about, and now we have these new people, including our board, we have new people. It'd be nice to, I know you've been to a lot of meetings, but,
No,
John and Doug, or John and Doug have it, and, the school board meetings. It would be nice to introduce them to what we were talking about during those joint meetings. Right down to, the snow removal and stuff like that.
So do you want me to set something up with the principal
I
to
think-
come here, or
Wait
well,
till after
wait.
the election, so there's gonna
and
be.
start a joint
Okay.
meeting there,
Wait
right?
till it's
Yeah,
a new board.
But if we, and that's only a month from now, so I would think if we contact them and say we wanna wait until we have the elections, but then maybe we can have a joint meeting and that's when we can meet them.
Right,
We don't have to have her come here special for
Okay.
that. But, I just think it's important that we sit down in a school and talk to each other about certain, especially budget stuff, but
What we're allowed-
I guess, you hear a lot of stuff on the street,
oh, yeah.
and some of it's rumors, some of it's BS, and nothing gets done on the street or on Facebook. It gets done, well, we sit down and do something.
I think-
I just wanna see that.
The superintendent comes here to every meeting, I think, and he seems like he's really on
And the
top.
old one didn't, so that'd be nice to
Yeah.
have the superintendent at the same meeting, we meet
Yeah.
everybody all at the same time.
And he could say, yes, this budget or this charge on the school could be handled by the town. Because there's some that you can't move over.
Yeah, and,
But there's some-
again, I don't wanna get into all this
Yeah.
rumor stuff that been talked, but I had a person come down the shop the other day and said something about, holy crap, the taxes are gonna go up again, the select board, is spending too much money, and I'm like, and I didn't wanna throw the school under the bus, but I'm like, we went up, I think it was less than 5% for our total budget, and especially the highway was less than that. The school, and I'm not blaming that on the board, I'm saying went up 13.5%. And it's gonna go up again, and they're yelling at us. We have no control over that. Think about it, is cost of living went up under the government standards 9%. We all know that's a bunch of bull. We know that went up more than that. And we kept it down below 5%. What else can we do? You can't, and I had this conversation a million times. We can't regulate the cost of diesel, and we can't regulate the cost of, sand and salt. Those type of things are locked in. There's insurance companies. Where do we go?
Wait till the rare commodity.
Is there a cheaper liability insurance out there? Of course not,
So I will let the principal know and a couple of the school board members that are still on that we'd like to set this up for a March meeting.
Sure.
When they're,
Yeah, and that's a good idea after the election, but, you know, then we have all this new group, but if we notify them now, we might hear from them by then.
There's 2 open seats, right? What
Yeah.
I heard on
Yeah.
the street or
Yeah,
wherever.
there's 2 open seats on this board,
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
it could definitely change, but in the past, when we try to notify, and the response seems to take a while, and this last time it took it hasn't even happened yet.
right.
Okay.
What else on road conditions, Dave?
That was it.
Okay. I'm gonna harp on this again.
Sorry.
Oh,
Road conditions. Is there any plan for the ripples in the dirt? Because I was coming up my Deja Road and I wasn't even going fast and all of a sudden my truck
Winter
went across
washboards, yeah, you can't grade the road in the winter time.
Twin Valley grades.
Huh?
Twin Valley grades the roads in town.
Go
well,
move there.
well, anyway.
No, I moved there, but I don't want to smash up either.
Listen,
It whipped my truck sideways
You
and
can't-
it's like,
you
are you
can't-
going in the brook?
I'll let you out in the grader. There's no way you're cutting the gravel in the winter time.
No.
And if you did, as soon as it would just all make mud. That's, I'm sorry, but it's annoying when you say that.
Okay. Thank you.
I do have another issue. Not with that.
Okay, quick.
The snowmobile trail that was supposed to be left for a shelf for the going out plowing, where it goes from class 3, class 4 by
By where?
Ruds, all the way to the high tensions is plowed. There's no shelf on the side for the snowmobile. And that's a snowmobile trail.
And
Remember I
that's,
asked,
that was on the landowner, right?
you guys allowed him
Where?
to plow
Yep.
going up County Road
Mhm.
through.
Yeah,
And he said he was gonna leave it.
we have a policy for plowing. I know there was a handshake deal that he said he would do that, but I don't think the town has a policy for leaving shells for the snowmobile trail.
There's no room.
He said he was gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
He said he was gonna leave a little snow on the road.
Yes, because
So
he
it
said
wasn't
you
bare
can't
gravel. He
go.
never said anything about leaving a path for snowmobile.
Well, I remember
He
him
could've-
saying something
did
about,
ask him.
you did, I remember you asking, and he said, yeah, we'll do that, but I mean, I don't think the town itself says you have to leave a ton. I mean, I respect you, but I don't think the town has a policy that says, hey, you have to leave a shelf for snowmobilers. Nor do I believe that it's an actual designated snowmobile trail.
that is.
By who? Who designates it? Town of Stamford?
We
You're
did
just right.
that 264, all the way up to the main quarter trail.
Sure.
down south of
Vassar
town.
designates it.
Vast.
Vass.
That's already in there
and we gave him permission to ride on the
Yeah.
road.
to connect, as the connector to that loop.
So would Vass have a machine that can put that extra shelf on the side or
It's a
something?
secondary trail, so they're not going to ruin it.
Okay.
That's the reason why I asked to leave the snow there.
Yeah, I remember him saying something about
I mean-
the snow.
Yeah.
Maybe you can reach out to Brian and say, hey, can
Can I drive through your yard?
we, yeah.
Right, right. I mean, you don't want us to drive over people's yards,
I've been
so.
out there, I've been out there.
Yeah, they're not plowing with the gravel, there's snowpack on the road.
Yeah.
And that's as good as you're gonna get.
I think someone goes over there to Blacktop to get from here to there. But,
Oh, yeah, they're,
The road's only 12
Main
feet
road is
wide
fine.
up through there.
yeah.
There's no way you could leave
Do both things at the
a
same time.
path for a snowmobile, you're gonna have to go up the road, the road.
Yeah.
I think,
I'm one of those guys that looks at policies, I have to look and see what our policies are for both things. He's plowed in the past and was never
He's
an issue.
gonna-
What
he's
the
coming
issue is
tonight,
now, he's
too.
plowed farther, I think, that's why.
farther back on the road or?
No, farther up the road. So,
It's not all the way.
I don't even know,
But then you have to-
I know there's 2 people that plow there. One is a group, a couple from Boston, and they only go up to the first camp on the left, past where it stops. And I don't even know what Brian did last year, and now he is, so.
I would say that the snowmobile trail part of it's less important than the people that own the property accessing their property.
Right.
The only,
Probably just the
Well, they
beginning,
are
probably
seasonal.
just the beginning anyway.
Excuse me?
They are seasonal, right? Until you.
Yeah, you're taxing. Right.
It's only a matter of time before.
Who,
And we do have a policy allowing them to plow. So when we told them, we sign that contract.
Matter of time before it's developed all the way around.
who's the other one plowing? John Tejan plows them.
For that,
I would say not to complain
the leasing.
about the
Yeah,
snowmobiles not being able to use it
Yeah.
before you just can't use it. It would make it an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll look and see if there's anything we can do policy-wise, but I don't think we can.
Well, we've got that. We're gonna review and sign the road plowing agreement tonight for Jowett. He brought it forward. What else, Dave? Okay. And I'm gonna harp on this again, but it's the lost control against for VLCT. Can we do one or two things again this year? There's a couple easy ones on there. I think one is, what the heck was it here? Heat or smoke detection. Can we put a smoke, is there no smoke detector in there? Do we need one?
There's smoke detector.
Yeah.
And workplace posters.
Yeah, we can get the workplace posters out, that'd be simple.
Yep.
Or you just gotta print those off.
Try one and, get them up there, and yes, we did one.
Can they just be battery? They don't have to be hardwired into this.
Well, I mean, we did order the eyewash thing.
Yeah, but that was last year. Let's try one. I know, Dave, let's try one this year, just to show that we are in good faith, trying to do what.
Just say okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Safe.
And I'll watch for it, Dave, thank you.
Say yes, ma'am.
They're just gonna keep adding slowly to the.
Well,
Well, let's get
again,
some off.
I don't wanna keep you guys here all night, but if you read what's coming up, just like Kurt said, and hey, look, they're gonna step right in and say, oh, you guys can't handle this, we'll take care of this, we'll take care of that. We just talked about the listers. Oh, we'll take care of that, we'll be your
Do it
listers.
for you.
And once you do it, you're never getting it back.
Every 4 to 6 years,
I
are
just
they
had
gonna do it?
I had an email exchange about people talking about the land that we lost, okay? Way back where my camp is up on Risky Neck Road. Land went to natural forest, right?
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna get it back. Really?
The water rights?
Yeah, really, okay. You're gonna go to tell National Forest, give us the land back. Good luck. They'll bury you in court for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They're not giving the land back, guys. I'm just telling you, it's not gonna happen. But every time we let the state step in and do a little bit here, a little bit there, they're gonna take more. Simple as that. And people love these free things. Oh, we're getting a grant, that's great, let's let the state do this, let the state do that. Be careful, that's all I could, warn them, be careful.
I agree with you.
Yeah?
I agree.
And then if you get used to it, and then they take it away, it's even worse. School gets used to getting money from the state, and then they take it away.
We're broke.
How do you run it?
Mine is the absentee ballots, keep the state right out of it.
Right?
If you wanna have everybody have
ask.
absentee ballot,
Yep.
pay the clerks, let them do the work, and ask.
And
Get
ask
off your duff and call and say, I want an absentee ballot.
the state. Government
I
is
know.
big brother.
Yep.
Let's take care of that.
We're on TV, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There it is.
I
Okay,
don't care. You-
all right.
It's an opinion. They don't like it too
We're
bad.
streaming live.
We're both off mic.
Yeah, I don't care.
Review and sign revised request for 2024 grant and aid grant of payment. Lori's got some background on that. Because we signed it and thought we were getting paid.
We sent it a couple of weeks ago for the full grant amount, I submitted it, and the state realized that the BCRC work that they did was a week past the grant's deadline, so they do not want to pay the $1,000 reimbursement for the BCRC's work. So now instead of getting the full $10,000 grant, we're only gonna get $9,300.
Plus, we have to pay for BCRs.
We still have to pay for the BCRC, yeah. So I had to pull the BCRC bill out of the request for reimbursement, and I have a new one for you to sign.
So,
I
Lori
guess
and
this is
I,
a follow-up to what I was just talking
Yeah.
about. You can't fight them. What are you gonna do, take them to court with a lawyer to cost you $1,000
You
a
know, but we
minute?
can talk to the state rep and just, it's baloney.
So I hear he's coming down to visit our town.
Yep.
Our rep is coming here.
Yeah.
And we should talk to
Listen,
him and
the-
say, hey,
The state gives
help us
us
out here, you know?
it is this week though, isn't it? Yeah.
four.
He's supposed to be here more than one time,
Second
right?
Saturday every month.
Nice, nice.
They're
So, do you
forcing
want
us
me
to
to-
do this, right? And then they give us some money to do it. And then the mediator between the town and the state, who legitimizes the whole thing, does it a week late.
He
And then
did, he, she, whatever, they didn't do their job.
Well, they did. We get to.
Well, it was like,
September.
it was late, right?
Yeah.
So we're punished for their tardiness.
Yep,
We're punished for their tardiness, but we didn't even send in the paperwork for the whole thing till December, so what does it matter?
Right? It doesn't.
just like, to-
So do you want me to call Jonathan Cooper, see what he can do about it? I don't know.
Why
It's
not?
ridiculous. Somebody needs to, it's ridiculous. They're penalizing us for nothing. Realistically, they used to pay the BCRC themselves, but then for some reason or another, decided that they wanted us to pay them, so they give us the money.
And
to
then we
pay.
get reimbursed. If it was on time, we would've got reimbursed for us paying them.
But normally,
Instead of them
they
just paying.
normally up till this year, like last year and the previous years, they would just pay the BCRC.
It's almost like they're hoping for it to be late.
Because they wanted them to do it. Because like I said, it legitimizes the whole thing, because otherwise I could inspect my own work, say it's all good,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
and then we get the money.
So,
and I did complain to the state about it, and she
Okay.
said, I'm sorry, it's tough, but that's what it is.
I'll call
There you
John.
go.
She could even spell tough, T-U-F-F. Hard to
This is
say.
what I mean. There's no way this is
Tell them you
gonna-
didn't spell that right, so we didn't
Just gotta
get their
complain
letter, so
a
we're
little
still
bit.
not paying.
Just
You
gotta
made a
complain
mistake.
hard. You'll get the money.
I think we should
Okay, I will follow up with
utilize
that.
our state rep when we can.
Do you want to sign the reimbursement form tonight, or do you wanna wait?
Let's hold off. Do we have to sign it right away?
You sure?
Oh, wait a minute, it says it's gotta be in by December 30th, right?
Just don't forget about it, okay? Well, if we talk to him and we can get more, we'll get a new letter, you know, I don't,
Do you wanna sign it and not send it in, and then,
wait, sure.
Yeah, sure.
that way, if you know in a couple of days, we can choose to send it in or not, as opposed to.
Right,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
okay.
yeah, there you go. Just heard? Just you.
May I go on? Mine is purple. Purple.
I don't know, that one flew over.
Review and sign road plowing agreement.
So he had come to the last meeting, Brian Jowett, fellow, talked to you guys about it, you approved it. He had come in and signed it and paid the recording fee. So now it's just a matter of you guys signing it, well, just Nancy.
Yep.
If you want to sign it, you're done.
And in the meantime, if you could pull that, I don't know what the plowing agreement said, or I think it's just
I
right
have
in
for
front
it.
there. It just, did it say how they had to plow or anything?
It says Dave can inspect it, and if there's damage, they're liable, and it doesn't say anything about how you want it done.
Leaving back from snow in the middle of the road. Right, shall prevent others from using said road at any time. No, it doesn't. Oh, it's perfect. It's really.
We're awful fussy.
No.
Yep, it's already gone.
Thank you. Look, this,
I gave you a second one.
Oh, that's all mine.
that's all yours, yeah? Okay. Recycling.
You don't like this pen either? Here, this is better.
Recycling. Did I see something on Facebook that Dream Green is coming? We'll do free pickup in Stamford
Call and set it up.
this weekend?
Yeah, free pickup, but you gotta pay for the items, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's still, if you got something we don't pay,
Free pickup, but still pay.
call them.
Discussion, review renewing appointments, so right after the election in March, we usually review the appointed officers and appoint them, or reappoint the vacancies. Lori, we've done a couple different things in the past. We've said if anybody is interested in filling these vacancies, let us know. And what was the first, what did we used to do, and then what did we do last year?
So sometimes you just reappointed everybody who was already in the slot. You just reappointed them, automatically sent them a letter, thanks, you're reappointed. Then one year you said you're reappointed, but if this is not something you'd like to do anymore, let us know. Last year, before March, you sent out letters asking people if they would like to be reappointed because their term is up. And if they didn't respond, they didn't get appointed.
We consider them not.
You consider them not interested, so you did have some vacancies that you weren't used to having, and people did come later on wanting to be reappointed. There was confusion of people who thought they were appointed and they weren't.
I think I like the way that we did it last year. Send them out, say your term is expiring in March of 2024. If you're interested in being reappointed, let us know. By March 6th.
This list has some on 2024 and 2025, which ones are up this year?
Just the
24s?
The 2024s, if it's a one-year term, are going to be up in 2025. This was from last year's town report, because the new one hasn't been done. So a 2024 appointment would, if it's a 3-year term, be 2027 now. If it's a 1-year term, it'll be up there.
So we would do the 2025s, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, by March 6th, because that'll be your first meeting after the election.
So we're gonna send a letter to them saying if you want to, let us know.
Do you want to do it that way, or?
If we don't hear from you, we would assume that that they're resigned.
Yep.
Think that's the way we should do it, or
Yeah.
go back the old way? It doesn't matter to me.
That's fine.
Yeah, if there's a mistake where they go, geez, we didn't get to you or something, they can come and say, hey, while you're appointed, they're gonna say, I'm gonna do it. And they say, oh, okay. Well, there's gonna-
Sure, trustee USPS.
You know, while we have this in our hands, a while back, we had what you call it, policy, I guess, that said if members of the board weren't showing up, and it happened to be a certain board, I won't mention names or anything, but there was some members of boards not showing up for 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And we said, if you miss 3 in a row, we send them a letter, say, what's going on? Are you sick, or you're a problem, or you just don't want to do it anymore? I don't know if that's going on or not, but especially the planning board and the zoning board, they have chairmen, right? And we should hear from the chairman now and then, you know, to have kind of again, like we did, like I'm talking with the school board, same thing. These are, we appointed these people. Yeah, I read the minutes of the planning board, the zoning board, I mean, they don't meet very often, but I do read the minutes and I see who's not there, who's there, and so on. And I don't know if you guys are having a problem or not, but it would be nice to have our, the chairman of that board say, everything's going good, we're having issues. There's a member that, one of the appointed members is always causing trouble. I'm not saying they are, I'm just using examples. I guess I would like to have the boards almost kind of send us back a report once in a while. We
used to have like an all board
That's what I
meeting.
was gonna say.
Yeah,
we are appointing all these
A couple
people.
of times.
You know, it's better than to hear it out on the streets again or on Facebook going, Lisa's causing all these problems and every time we go to talk, she's going, and I'm not saying any of that's happening, and I know some boards can get a little heated from now, here and there. That's good sometimes. That gets things done. But on the other hand, if the same person nonstop is making nonsense statements and comes back to this board, maybe we just won't reappoint them. These are our cabinet, our people that say, we want the town run, and, this board is what can change it. And if we get elected in or out, that's what our duties are, I think.
I think, wasn't it the planning commission that said that if you didn't show up 3 times, or was it us?
Right, but I think we made the policy. I think they were the ones that, I think this board is the only ones that really could make that policy. We're the ones that are appointed. How can the chairman of the planning board unappoint someone that we appointed? All they can do is come back and talk to
and
us
say,
anyway.
hey, this person hasn't shown up for 3 meetings.
So
Well, in this day and age, we have to be more concerned if there's any conflict within these boards, right?
Right, and that's the other thing. I'm not saying that it's just a 3 times you're out thing. I'm saying many items that we could be thinking about that might cause these boards up to do their jobs and
I mean, there's people that serve
their
on multiple
their
boards.
diligence, yeah,
Is it a conflict or is, I don't know.
Right, yeah, you could, and especially, I believe, that a zoning board and a planning board member talking about the item, and this is no secret, our sign went from the select board to the planning board to the zoning board. And people of the same members were sat on these boards making those decisions, that's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dead wrong. You can't, the select board can't bring an issue to the zoning board
Well,
and then sit on the zoning board.
I stepped down from the planning board because I didn't have to, I don't think. but
No, you
Because
didn't.
I didn't want the perception of. some
Correct.
kind of ethical-
And I do believe that is to be perceived, and and to me, this isn't Mike Denal's opinion now, when that sign crap went down, there were perceptions of this conflict involved. Don't you believe, I mean, maybe, I don't have to ask you what you believe, but I'm just saying that I believe there was, when you sit there and you're on both boards,
Sure,
and the planning board sends it to the zoning board,
yeah,
that's not right.
no. I don't disagree with that at all.
Or if we go back after the decision was made, we go back and we say, well, we're gonna get you, we're gonna do this,
Yeah,
because we have the authority to change the rules.
there's not a.
It just never ends.
There's not a lot of boards here that draw conflict, but I would say the
Yeah.
planning board and the ZBA are definitely the 2 conflicting boards, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no doubt about
The
it.
select
Well,
board,
maybe we'll
zoning
have
board,
to-
and planning board, I think are the 3 that really hit home to me. I mean, the select board, really, I don't see why we would be on any board,
Right,
especially those that get paid.
you should, I mean, even if it's not a conflict, I mean, now with the
Right.
whole perception or appearance of a conflict, I
Right.
mean, that's anything.
You got these vacancies and you say, geez, it's never been filled, maybe someone, I mean, I've seen Dave step forward one time because we had a vacancy on the select board and said, I'd be proud to sit in that seat, and he did, but he didn't get in the way and run again when someone said, hey, I want to run, he says, okay, no
One of the
problem.
problems
You
is we
did the same
need,
with the planning commission when we needed a.
Right, sure.
one of the problems is we just need more diversity, right?
Yeah.
We draw from the same 20 people all the time.
Yeah, oh,
Seven
definitely.
boards.
And that's the other thing, is all the stuff I'm saying, would the utmost respect of anyone that throws their hat in the ring. I don't care win, lose, or draw, you throw your hat in the ring to be in this stuff.
I mean, it's hard to.
It's what we always call a thankless job, you know, yeah, I mean, you gotta say to people, hey, thank you, thanks for getting involved, you know?
I mean, it's hard in a little town like this with people that have known each other for 40 or 50 years. There's
Sure.
conversations that take place all over.
Yeah.
About
So,
this, that, or
I
whatever.
just would like to, you know, as we appoint people, keep in mind what we talked about. You know, if you have a whole list of people who wanna get on the planning board, which we've seen in the past, and a couple of those people are on multiple boards, we might say, hey, look at, we don't even have to ask, it's our decision to say, we're
We
gonna
gotta be-
appoint this other
This
person.
one.
because
We
you're
gotta
on
be more
the
vigilant about what we're doing too, because the way
Right.
I understand the ethics training is that we're ultimately responsible for any conflicts that may occur.
Right,
Anywhere on this.
yep, yep.
We make the
Okay,
decision.
so if you send the letters out.
Yeah.
Dog license fee increase.
I'm beginning to have people come to the window who had not heard that there was a change in the fees, so I guess I just wanted to make it public at a meeting, so it'll go in the minutes that we have new fees, $16 and $20, 16 for your neutered or spayed and $20 for your real dogs.
Doesn't say that like the end of our minutes and a little one or two, three things there at the end.
Sure.
It does.
I think it does. You
I don't
know,
think it's got the fee though, that's.
did you get a hard time or just that,
Throw it in there, seeing how it's
Yeah, they're
coming up.
okay with it, but it,
Throw it right in there, seeing how it's coming up. You know, the payments are gonna be due in April, right?
yeah,
Yep,
Just put a number, whatever, 4 at the end and say,
yeah,
these are the new fees.
These are the
Don't
new
forget
fees.
that the deadline,
yeah.
the due date is blah, blah, blah.
and I'm glad that Clarksburg has their sign flashing town, register your dogs by. Yes, because
yeah,
it's
it
also,
reminds them, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of Stanford people see it, the ones that go the other way in Clarksburg don't see it.
Can we borrow that
Can I
sign?
ask a question? I know we've got this, but for some reason I'm blanking. Who is in control of that white sign that has to do with the telephone company?
I think the school.
School.
School usually puts the letters up.
I don't, are you guys allowed to? Or
We
board?
used to in the past, we could put some up, but
Because it doesn't really get used, and to that point, every time we go through Clarksburg, I'm like, oh yeah, the dogs, oh yeah, the dogs.
yeah,
So that's
that was, yeah.
a great question to ask the principal. Look, it's not getting used, the school may have paid for it. Can we use it as town business, as notifications, just a informational thing? Yep, this is coming up.
Collection.
And I'm sure that the principal would say, sure, I don't know.
We've done it before, but if we miss something like taxes are due, how come Laura didn't climb over the snowbank and put those
Or
letters
you
on?
can put that in your minutes, as this is a, you know,
That's the problem though, is just once you start it, if you don't,
Yeah.
everybody wants out there,
Yeah.
then it becomes a problem.
yeah.
Yeah,
But you just
And
tell
so-
people, you know, this is a courtesy, it's not mandated, it's a courtesy.
register your dog by,
And
Taxes
sometimes
due
we
by-
won't have it.
Helpful.
It's actually
I don't understand why anybody would be upset.
not a perfect one.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're upset when you go register a dog and the price went up. When I go buy beer and the price went up, I give them the money. You know, I'm like, well, I'm not buying beer now. I mean, and I guess I could, that's my choice, but,
You
I
could
mean,
switch.
prices go up.
You could
What
switch
hasn't
the
gone
dog.
up?
I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, you're feeding the dog, the rate it went up is minimal. So, I mean,
Amazing.
you're
In the
keeping it
state
alive.
did have it. No.
and you will see that we put in our warrant to set up a reserve fund for some of this extra money that we're allowed to collect,
Right.
to put it in a reserve fund and to be used for if a dog is hit by a car and Luke's gotta take it to the vets, we don't know who the owner is, and euthanized. We've had that before,
What
and the
about
vet
that?
made the decision, and it costs the town money, so if we have this reserve fund, so,
Or if a house a dog for 3 weeks,
yeah,
months.
and not know who the owner is, and,
And Luke is not doing a rabies clinic this year. He couldn't pull it together with
Yeah.
vets, so there's a Wilmington is having one, Powell is having one, March 8th. March 22nd.
Didn't I see that in the minutes too?
Tractor Supply does it every month, so I'll,
Is Tractor Supply cost money or is it free?
I don't know.
I've always heard people say,
It costs money, but
it
it's
does cost.
We've
a lot
got,
cheaper than the
we've
regular.
been there, but I don't
Yeah.
remember
You
whether
don't pay for that.
Right.
I don't usually get
You
paid.
don't remember.
So, Tractor Supply in North Adams or Bennington?
Probably both, but I know that.
I don't know, I haven't seen them in Bennington.
Bennington does it, Bennington, that's, I went to the Bennington one.
Because I didn't see a sign for it last week, but that doesn't mean.
And I think I've seen the sign in North
They
Adams.
had it for like dog
Yes.
washing or stuff like that, but
Dog
not,
washing.
you know, like for, you can bring your dog to groom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they still do it.
If I'm not there, I'll
Yeah, I
ask.
think I saw it in the minutes. Did you put it in the minutes about the rabies clinic too, in Wilmington or?
I'm not sure if I put it
I
in
think
there.
somewhere I saw it.
It's another state mandated thing, the state should have them be on.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
take the whole dog thing right over, take it all.
No. Here, right, well, here's the thing, here's a mandate, you have to do it.
Have this
You guys
one
bet.
thing.
The dog shelter has to be heated. Okay, John wanted to review the mowing bids. You sent them to us?
He wanted to review the mowing bid request. We
Yes,
haven't
yeah,
signed
right, I'm sorry, request, yes.
Right, and I did email them to you, and I put them in your boxes, except for Nancy, because she usually prints everything out, but I can
Yep.
get you one.
No, I have it, so, we'll
John's
just leave
probably
that
got
on the
plowing
agenda.
Instead of mowing tonight.
Put it on next agenda.
Yep, he is. Yep. Discussion, Doug has an update on the, oh no, I was gonna do it under there. No, Lori has something. FEMA, were you gonna tell us about FEMA? I didn't,
I don't know much
I
about it.
read
I received an email just saying that our FEMA reimbursement for the July 2023 funding may be delayed with the federal government and all the changes that are being made. Due to some suit that's being filed, and I don't really know much more than that, but I thought you guys should at least be aware if it affects our funding.
I'm glad we didn't budget that we were gonna receive it this year.
This is what I'm talking about, you know, if they tell you you're gonna get something, things change, you gotta be careful.
Okay, correspondence, uniform municipal excess weight permit from Carroll Concrete.
Carroll Concrete, Newport Sand and Gravel, they're the first ones this year. Their insurance information and money is in order.
Motion, take it.
Dave,
Sign it.
good?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Do they put this right in now in their?
They put it in.
Oh,
Yeah.
it saves you from typing it in, good. Okay, thank you. Sign, review and sign Nimerick assessor contract, did we get that?
So, this is the contract. Nancy, Sally, and I sat down with John, Tiffany, reviewed it, picked what we thought the town should be doing and what Nimerick needed to be doing. We submitted the contract. We had some changes that they didn't put in, but most of them they did put in. We decided it wasn't worth fighting over a couple of little items.
How about the fee per hour? Should that go up?
It's
It's still 95.
$95 an hour with travel being $47.50.
Not everything's going.
So, yeah, that stayed the same.
Well, they just inflated it to start with.
Exactly, they got 5 years to play with that.
Right.
Mark it up. Mark it up for.
I don't know if you want to go through with all of the itemizations of what we do and what Nimerick is gonna do. but-
Now, we,
I trust that you guys already beat this up.
can I have a motion to accept this? What was the contract? Well, $95 an hour, and I think we figured last week, it's about the same hours.
Yeah, we estimated about the same.
'Cause yes,
Same hours
About
to do the,
just the yearly assessment, not the reappraisal
Right,
or
right,
anything.
none of that, okay.
So there's probably maybe
So-
no more than 20 permits, or you can have that much. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure we'll get more this spring, but.
yeah.
So it's still gonna be thousands of dollars, it's just not gonna be
Oh, yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were close to 100,000 on it last year, right?
Yep. 75 for. And if you could put a sticky on there, or even a self-addressed stamped envelope, we would like a copy of this back. No, don't put a stamp on it. They'll probably email it anyway.
Did you do a motion for that, or did you just agree?
Can I have a motion to sign the contract for
Motion.
Nimmer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any other correspondence, Lauren? Old business. Doug has an update on the policy and code of ethics.
Okay, bear with me here. I've gone through the website several times. And I also called up and spoke to, I guess you call her the coordinator, Christine at Cerveret. So this is where I've gotten the information from. And first of all, what's my position? And according to Christina, it's basically a contact person for the town. I asked her, does the town have to have a local ethics commission, or can the liaison handle it himself? And basically, she said it's up to us, so we can just do that. The best way, if you have a complaint, I advise anybody that has a complaint or any request, any information, go on the site and go to the municipal. There's a couple sections, one for the state, one for the municipal. Go to the municipal, and you can get the forms off there. One of the forms is if you wanted to fill it out and sign it and send it up. If you do it that way, though, they also want a call or an email, giving them a heads up that it's on the way. The other one is you can fill it out and send it up by a computer or email or whatever, and that one you don't have to call them up and give them a heads up. I wondered about what reports I had to do to file, when and where, and she said no reports at this time. We do have to keep a log of the complaints, and there's a form on the website that we can use that's actually just for us here. Which town officers have to take the test? I'd say just about everybody. There's a couple of people that, like she said, like for example, the librarian would have to take it. Although I would think the director of the library probably would have to. So basically, just say anybody that's on a board or whatever, take it.
It's a very easy one, and
It is.
it's,
Oh, I went on it with my phone, and I think I'm not very good at technically doing things, so I probably messed something up. So I went on, it says, you know, do you have to log in, I guess that's my question. Because it seemed like I moved forward, and then I went to the learning part, and then
You sign your name and stuff at the end.
Okay,
and you
so
submit it.
in the middle, where you take the test, there's like 5 questions. And then if you don't get them right, they don't tell you which ones are wrong, and then you just move on.
They told me.
no, I feel.
They told you, see, that's what I was
Oh, they
having.
didn't tell
Wait,
me. I flunked,
Their
but
example
I could just keep
quizzes,
changing my answer.
their
and then I
example
passed.
quizzes in the middle of it throughout the text. And then if you wait like 20 seconds after they show you the questions, then he says the answer to it. And at the end, there's like 5 or
Oh, so I didn't get that far, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I did it on my phone,
That's probably.
I'd rather just go down and shop.
He gives you like sample quizzes that he gives you the answers for.
At the end, there's 5 questions, 5 or 6
Right.
questions, and if you get the wrong answer, it won't let you move. So you go back and you change your answer, you say, I think maybe this should
Do
be
you have to
yes
do
or no.
every answer one at a time, though?
No,
All 5,
Yep.
click, move on.
they won't let you move on if you get
Right.
one of those 5
But
wrong.
they don't tell you.
Oh, that's the
No, they
second
don't
one, I
tell you
got
which
100.
but they
So,
told you.
multiple,
Yeah.
I didn't get a score, but I didn't get held back at any of the questions.
Well, you must have got them all right then.
I get drowned with this stuff.
Kurt, did you have a
I
line?
work for the state, so.
Do you have a line to also send it to Lori after?
No, I gotta forward it to her after.
Because did you get one from when I took it, and it came up with the wrong test or something? Is that a line they sent it to?
Seems like
You know, I didn't say this on the live stream, but you can just fast forward right to the end and just take the quiz.
Well, that's what I
I'll print
wanted,
it out,
and that's,
because I get my copy. and
That's what I wanted.
print it out.
Yeah.
because, you know, I think I'm smarter than
That's
And
all
it'll
you
say, don't write,
I am.
Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
They're pretty, I mean, they're pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna, I think I'm navigating it wrong, which, that's not ethically wrong, it's just dumb. So, so I'll go
No,
down
the
the shot.
first time I gave to the sample quiz, I was like hitting my phone, I'm like, it's not accepting the
Yeah, I think, like you said,
And
on
then
the phone.
there was a delay, and then he says C.
Okay, yeah, I'll
I guess
figure
I
it
missed
out.
that one.
Is it safe to assume school board members have to take that
Yeah.
test too?
Yeah.
So where do I get the link for that? Because I've
Just-
heard about this, but I don't know where to go for
No,
it.
just go in,
Ethics
Google
Commission.
or whatever, Vermont Ethics Commission.
Oh, okay.
And everything is pretty much on there, and like I say, go to the municipal part.
Okay.
And-
You have to like
Yeah,
September.
as long as it's state and then one says.
If I can't figure it out, I'm just gonna hire someone to do it for me.
I did.
Is that ethically wrong?
Yeah.
So, let's
What else do you
see,
have?
let's see. As I said, how to file a complaint, go get the forms, and they're pretty self-explanatory, and fill them out and send them to the commission. And they'll review them, and if there's any questions or anything they need for further investigation, they'll get back to us. Now, as far as investigating, the select board has the right to appoint an investigator for whatever. It could be however you wanted to do it, maybe different investigators. I'm glad to handle it. I've done a few investigations in my previous life, and I'll be glad to do it. And if we want to have maybe one more person, I do have.
Just in case you're the one in violation?
Yeah, that would be a possible, that's the one I want
Exactly.
to do. No, but I was thinking
And
too,
investigate the investigator.
somebody else that,
This isn't the federal government.
somebody else that has a background, I haven't talked to him yet, maybe Jim Stinson. We should consider him because, again, investigation.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's see, I'm not very well organized here, but, let's see, yeah, and Deputy Third Board can designate anybody, to do an investigation who does not have an interest in the case. Now, as far as the, Code of Ethics, they had a summary of the Code of Ethics on the website. I did make a copy here. And what I would like to see us do is, or recommend, that we use this for our town Code of Ethics. And it doesn't mean we can't add to them if we find a problem or whatever, but just to get it up and running. We do have a municipal conflict of interest policy. And the first part of it here, for the recommended ones, the municipal code of ethics, is also recusal and disclosure for conflicts of interest. So I would say maybe we could take our law, our protocol,
Yeah.
and put it in here. But if you look at them, they're pretty much the same.
And we could always enhance our, say, if we wanted to make an ordinance
Yeah,
or whatever. If we
Yeah.
thought something was in conflict, we could make an ordinance.
yeah. This is more a protocol to follow, where it's an ordinance, I think would be something we can do later if we have to firm it up a little. I did see, I was given this, Lori gave this to me, chart of incompatible offices. And this might be something, I don't know whether we should somehow incorporate it into the rules or the ethics rules, or whether this is something we would do an ordinance on, but it's something to think about.
You see that?
Sure. We have to post, once we have the municipal code of ethics, that has to be posted on the municipality's website. Let's see. Do we have, by any chance, do we have a complaint investigation ordinance, rule, or policy? Do we have one?
No, we have a conflict of interest policy. Do you-
Right.
do you have a copy of that
I
policy?
do here. Conflict of interest
Okay.
policy.
Yep, that's what we have.
So that, I would say incorporate it with the other ones, maybe make it number one.
Yep, yep,
Although if you read them, they're very much the same.
okay.
But, let's see, we should establish a, policy for investigations. And I was wondering, is this something that we could call maybe, the League of Cities and Towns, see if they have a model?
Mhm.
So maybe we get a hold of that there, and, also I have a rule here, I'm looking at, I'm sorry, a statute that may act as a starting point.
So then that policy for the conflict of interest, does that mention different board?
Not really. It's kind of a general thing.
'Cause I know the Vermont website, the state website tells you in municipality what they actually say, no, there's no conflict of interest, yes,
Yeah.
there is. I looked that up before, because there was, when I got on the board, there was a board member that was on
Mhm.
5, I think, different boards. Yeah, so I looked it up and it says that none of them were conflict of interest.
Right.
Although it's, again, we're getting into a new era now, that perception is a different, yeah, it's a different way.
Only takes one.
Yeah.
But the thing is too, when you send your complaint up to the board, what they'll do is go through it, and they might say yay, nay, and one of the things they mentioned there, it might be refused or rejected on, is de minimis, where it's such a small, minor thing that, no, we
Yeah.
don't have to do
Work it
that.
out, yeah.
Right.
So, but this here, it's based on Title 17
Mhm.
VSA, so I can look that up and see, it's like a grid that you can use.
So, okay,
Yeah.
no, keep going.
No, I don't really have that much more to go on.
So we need to put something on our website.
We need to put
Kodak.
our ethics rules,
Mhm.
and we need to put our, when we have
The complaint form?
not the complaint form so much, but the investigation rules, like for an investigator, the rules, the policy for an investigation.
Right.
Okay.
Those have to be put on our website.
Okay. So we've got to start working on a code of ethics policy, trying to incorporate our current policy.
Well,
Oh, wait a minute.
I think all we have to do is just take what we've got.
If we want stronger language, we can add it in.
But I don't think we really need it. If you, like I said, if you look at,
We can't have weaker language. We can't have weaker language.
Right.
Right,
but they're very much, when I read them, they're almost the same. They're really
Yeah.
not that much difference. So,
can you get something to us then, before next meeting and say this is the code of ethics that we'd like to put on our webpage and we'll look it over and then?
sure.
Recommend this one.
Actually,
Yeah.
I got it right here. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
Okay.
pull it right out of the.
Yep, and some notes for doing the policy for investigation, how to do that.
Yeah, can I just contact, will they talk to me via CT or, if you have
Do
a
they- will they
phone number or
contact-
something?
Yeah, if you call, it's rare that they actually answer the phone, but you
It's
can
like
leave a
the one-
message and
Yeah.
they'll call you back.
Email.
But the email works
Email, they
pretty
love
good.
emails.
Yeah,
Really?
and there's an easy spot to go on there, you just log in with you and type in your question, and they're usually pretty good. And you tell them when you want the answer back, if it's high priority or low, and
And you probably already have a username and password to get in. If you don't remember it, let me know.
Yeah, I think I have it here.
Okay.
I wrote it down. And that's pretty much it for now. When I talked with her, it seems they're just kind of getting up and running right now. So there's still some things that they want to iron out. Like I said, I asked her if there are any like inspections or anything, and we should keep a file of any complaints that we deal with. And also, what you've been doing, I think, Lori, is keeping a file of the people that have taking the test. And by the way, if anybody, any of the people that may get elected, new people coming on that are already on, I think they have something like 30 days or whatever, I have to look it up to get it. But if you're already in a position, you have till, I think it came out to be like September. But like I said, it only takes about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
I thought, Doug, that you had to put the form on the webpage, but I could be wrong, for people to fill out if they wanted to file a complaint.
I guess we could.
Complaint.
Is
I
that
think
something
it
that
said
we
that we
can
had
do?
to, but I.
Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, why
Doesn't
not?
hurt. Well, the big thing, I think, is just refer them to, everything you need is on that page.
That's good. Good keeping yourself informed in what we're supposed to do, so.
I'm learning it every time I look at
Well,
it too.
this is all new to all of us. So, yeah, if you can get us the code of ethics or conflict of interest, and we can work on that. Any other old business that we need to talk about? New business.
I got one little thing I just wanna mention. Look at you.
I know, because he's.
I started off with 100 questions.
I know.
But those were all.
He said it was done.
They're all stuff that were on it.
Yeah.
This is actually about our whole meeting. It's come to my attention, there's been a few people in the town, and they won't come here for some reason, I don't want to mention it here. You have, we have a order of how we run our meetings. And someone said, well, meetings go on and on and on and on and on, people talk. Some people get to talk a lot longer than other people. And I kind of agree, but I've always been a big fan of the First Amendment rights to speak and so on. And so I guess I've seen other meetings where you're not allowed to talk it off after your 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes, we have 15 minutes, then we go on with a meeting, we have discussion. The discussion's supposed to be for us, but we've always allowed everyone to ask questions, where if you go even to the school board, you raise your hand all day, and depending on who you are, they might not even answer you. And Stamford's not as bad as if you go to North Adams, you are not allowed to talk. I think that I'd like to have a happy medium, I guess that's what I'd like to see us as maybe after the election again, when we have new board members. I think Nancy does a phenomenal job as chair. But I think sometimes you get taken advantage of during a meeting. People like to over talk you. And I know you got your little hammer sometimes, but I think sometimes I think the rest of the board ought to step in and say, that's enough. So I guess what I'm asking is almost like permission to tell, I never asked you, well, I never asked you, but I don't wanna overstep you too, but almost to say, hey, look, you've been talking, we've had people get up and actually stand up and walk towards us. You've been talking for 30 minutes here about the same thing that you talked about last meeting and the last meeting.
Or at times, there's 3 different conversations going on.
Yeah.
That's what's hard.
So we need to, I guess that's one thing I'd like to see in the future is kind of rein in that a little bit. And I know I've been blamed myself for talking too much, and Dave's like, all right, let's go, I gotta go home and sleep. But I'm a board member, so too bad. But no, I really think that the people that mentioned it to me actually are not in favor of me at all. They're like, your meetings are going crazy, and they kind of yelled at me. So it wasn't a friend, it must be. Whatever. Anyways, I just think that, you know, I've seen it happen, and we've had those certain issues, the signing issue, you know, that went on for too long. Maybe we could say, okay, we heard you, we got the point, and then we'll look into this and move on, instead of saying, let them just babble on, you know?
Well, how I feel as chairman, I feel that you guys are all equal to me, that just because as chairman, I figure I do the agenda and
Yeah.
we get the meeting going, but
Well, that's, I
Jump in anytime
would never
you
wanna
want,
take this
because-
over, that's not what I'm asking.
Jump in and just say, hey, wait a minute, you had your 5 minutes and,
I think it was the last meeting we got going, and if anybody remembers, I said, point of order, I make a motion, we move the question.
Yeah,
I
good.
believe that's part of
Good.
Robert's rules.
that's Robert's rules.
And everybody
Yeah.
kinda laughed, but
But we don't, and that's the thing, we've turned Robert's rules into this, and you're right, I've done Robert's rules before other venues, and yeah, you're right, Kurt's right, there was one instant where there was like 3 conversations. We were talking about the budget that night, and there was conversations that were literally personal vendettas.
We got it,
You
yeah.
know, it's like, all right, I'm not, and they were, and it was actually some of the board members and some of the people and some of that, and how are the board members gonna hear what's going on that's important? And we're trying to be polite, so there, you know, Jed's over there talking to you, you're trying to be polite, you know, Jed's a nice guy, we're not gonna tell him to shut up, but on the other hand, is look, that's nothing to do with it, Jed never says anything, but I'm saying, you know, but if we're talking, if Dave's got the table and he's telling us about the budget, we should let that go on, I guess. And, you know, politely say, hey, we gotta stop. And you've done that before. You say, hey,
Not
enough. I
We've let it
don't
go
know.
on.
I got yelled at for it, so I'm just giving it back to you.
Well, the opening statement, welcome to meeting of the Stamford Select Board, that can be changed.
Well,
We
15
made that up
minutes,
years ago.
if we allow it to go 15 minutes, many times, and I
We
understand that.
do, we go over 50.
But if there's 5 people that night, talking, you know, Laura comes in about the ATVs, that was a big one. Remember, we had to go out there, that was the biggest meeting we ever had in the town of Stamford, right? Bigger than town meetings.
Contentious point.
If you get 30 people that wanna take 15 minutes
Oh, you're.
time, we'll be here 2
Yeah.
days, you know? So we have to,
We can do
and I
it.
guess you know when, like tonight, go ahead and talk all you want, we got plenty of time, you know?
I think, what's the school board, 5 minutes?
Yeah,
2 minutes.
It's, I don't know, I think it's 2 minutes.
2 minutes, and they give
But
you a
it's
30-second
looser-
beeper.
But it's a lot looser now. I
No
think
timer
when we had,
anymore?
when there was the contentious issues over there and there was a huge crowd of people, then it was strictly enforced 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's a lot looser now than it used to be.
You still got your 30-second timer that
No,
goes
I
off?
don't- no, nobody uses a timer.
'Cause
Who
that-
comes to the meetings now anyway?
I mean, but the thing is, you're talking and all of a sudden you hear beep, 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 beep. You know, there's that, and now you just lost 30, yeah, you know?
No.
Need the big flags. Need the
I just
big
keep
flags.
talking anyways. Yeah.
Well, it's good to keep it in place in case you need that timer that you have that
Yeah.
in place.
We,
and-
I would leave it
used to
as
have
it
one
is.
select board timing until 15 minutes
Yeah.
is up, that's it, and that was.
You know, I guess
Just get a shot clock.
there was, and I'm not disagreeing with the people that yelled at me, but to a point I am, but there were times where we allowed certain people to talk more because they were the type of person where if you told them not to, they were just gonna make it worse anyways. So we just let it go. It's like, all right, he's just gonna keep talking anyway. It's like trying to shut me up. I
It's out of
understand.
control, it happens on the planning commission.
Yeah, so you see it, and there's probably some of the same
The
people,
same
who
people,
knows,
yeah.
So, you know, we had it at the town meeting where someone came to the podium to talk. That's a lot of time, and then, does everybody get a chance to go to the podium all the time? You know?
It's not
So,
if you're the loudest voice, you get heard, like, that's how I feel a lot.
exactly, yeah, exactly. And
That's
I
all.
know, I know I have that, I'm at fault sometimes. I know I have that personality where I can talk a little bit louder and shut the person down, but that's not
That
right.
probably
you
shouldn't
know?
have been allowed in retrospect.
No,
We
no,
should
but it
have.
was just very a new
Right.
person that was the moderator that, oh, like.
Sorry, Buster, your time's up. We are,
No more hearing the visitors. May I make a suggestion and to reinforce what you wanna talk about is more than 5 minutes and the conversation more than 15 minutes, that you get asked to be added to the agenda.
I have said that to people. Matter of fact, during the COVID era, which again, I don't like to talk about, but there were people that was a heated discussion. And there was one woman that was arguing with a board member, and she didn't have the platform that the board member had. And I agreed with her. I disagreed with her stance, but I agreed with her and said, I'm gonna put you on the agenda next week. She
Right.
came on the agenda next week and let her talk all she wanted.
Yeah,
And I think that's great, because then you don't have a limit. Then you can talk as much as I do.
right.
Just something to think about.
Yeah, step in anytime, guys, say,
All
hey,
right.
you're talking too much and one conversation, because it's very hard to hear up here too. If
Sure.
someone over in the corner, I'm pointing to you, Dave, but.
Well, exactly, this is
But over in
really.
that
yeah.
corner is bad, and it kind of echoes out over here and can't hear
You guys
anything.
got us on camera, he's not on camera, look at this.
Yeah,
What I was gonna say is, with this whole idea, is that, the one thing I did notice at town meeting is that it would be good to have a spectator podium, that
For
everyone
all.
can go for the, you walk up to it instead of going into the front, so you're talking to you guys instead of away from you.
oh, like on the side or something,
Yeah.
that they can see
But
the
you know
audience
that that's
and
where
this,
you go
and
to
the
talk.
select board also.
Because the person carries the mic over, so what's the
Right.
difference if they have to walk or they have to walk, yeah. I mean, again, and with the town meeting, who runs that? It's the mediator,
The moderator and
the
some.
moderator. You know, it's not us, but yeah, I mean, that was a new person. I know Bill would have definitely done things differently. And now we have an opening for that, so it's gonna be interesting
Mhm.
if we don't have someone that takes the reins on that.
Beth, did you called me, you wanted to talk to something, a hearing of visitors tonight? Were you on? Or maybe it wasn't, maybe it was
I don't
somebody
think it
else.
was me, yeah.
Okay.
I
I
think
told
I
her to
was
come to
just-
this,
I
oh,
think I was
no,
one
I
of the
know, there was
ones-
2 other people, yes.
Yeah, I
Two people.
Mike kind of expressed,
No, it was 2 people, and I told them to come to the select board meeting and talk to us about it there. They wanted to add something to the minutes. I said, well, if you come to the meeting, it'll go in the minutes, but I can't add it to the, I'm not adding it to them. This is not a newspaper.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. New business, we want to talk about, we talked about before revising the employee handbook. So I was looking at that and the highway job description. And one of them, in the laborer job description, the laborer says his time is coming in, he comes in at 6 to 4. And the highway job description says he comes in at 7 to 4 or something like that. It's all over the place. So we've got to consolidate these and try to get them all on the same page and working the same hours, same description, because it depends on the board and who was hiring, and they never looked at everything else. But the employee handbook, I think that's probably the first thing we should look at, and Lori sent them to everybody. So if you look them over, write your thoughts in there. Dave, you've got a copy of it?
Yeah, my desk.
Okay. If you look it over, give us suggestions, job description, and labor description. And we've got one for the recycling description that's
we use it all
ancient.
the time, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to double that whole thing,
Yeah.
you really write it up right.
For the recycling description, that says, he's responsible for the incinerator, and I don't think that's been done for, until lease.
Bottles, but
Yeah, so just look them over and we'll try to take one at a time to review these. Any other new business? Okay. Make a motion to go into executive session for personnel. And is there anything with the civil litigation? We don't need to go, we don't need to discuss that, okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Yep, good night.
take care.
Drive safe, yep. I don't think so.